felt uncertain. And they keep doing it. They keep doing it because service is who we are. They are the best of Americans. So today I call on leaders from both parties to sit down together, work out your differences, and find a solution that reflects the best of America, just like federal employees do every single day. I call on you today to put people over politics. Let's end this shutdown and get back to the business of serving the American people all together. And so, brothers and sisters, that's what this is all about. We want to do this because we know it's right. So, brothers and sisters, next I want to call on my brother, Matt Biggs, my brother. And it's a pleasure to introduce him, the president of the International Federation of Professional and Technical Engineers, IFPTE, my brother, Matt Biggs. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm honored to be here today. Thanks, everybody, for being here. IFPTE, we represent 34,000 federal workers across government agencies. Some of them are working today, and some of them aren't. There's roughly 620,000 federal employees that are furloughed. When you can do the math, there's roughly about 2 million federal employees. So the difference, the other folks are working. What they all have in common is they're not getting paid. They're not getting a paycheck. Now, despite what this OMB director, Russ Vought, thinks, these are working families. These are workers, working Americans that have families, that live paycheck to paycheck, that have to pay bills, have to put food on the table. And denying them a paycheck is simply cruel. It's cruel. And keep in mind, these federal employees have nothing to do with this government shutdown. Most of them are still showing up and they're working every single day. IFPTE, we represent workers at the Department of Defense, as all of these unions do, or most of them. And they're showing up and they're doing their work to help our fighting men and women and protect the defense of this nation. And what do they get in return? They get OMB Director Russ Vought, who says they may not even get a paycheck. Yeah. That is deplorable. It's shameful. Now, IFPTE, I echo Brother Kelly's message to the Congress. Come together. Republicans, Democrats, come together. Let's reopen this government. And we implore President Trump to come to the table and work with both sides, Democrats and Republicans, and reopen this government. And we also, at IFPTE, we also implore Congress to protect their appropriating authority. When Congress appropriates money and they designate money for these agencies, the executive branch should not have the ability to impound the money or spend the money any way they want. So when Congress appropriates the money, they have to protect their authority to be able to decide how the money's spent. So we urge Congress, number one, reopen the government and get our people their paychecks. And number two, Congress, in bipartisan way, protect your co-equal branch of government responsibility by protecting your ability to designate spending. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So
Thank you, man.
I'm honored right now to introduce my union sister, Flight Attendants President Sarah Nelson.
All right, Sarah. Here we go, Sarah.
Thank you, Matt. My name is Sarah Nelson. I'm the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, CWA, representing 55,000 flight attendants at 20 different airlines. And we count on federal workers every single day to do our jobs. Hundreds of thousands of aviation workers, both federal sector and private sector, ask all day long, is it safe? We do that so the American public who travels with us can take safety and security for granted. Right now, TSA officers are coming to work, making good on their oath to the Constitution, to all of us, to keep us safe. Air traffic controllers are coming to work, making good on their oath to the country, just like they do every single day, understaffed and under-resourced by this government. They are coming to work under an increasingly unsafe scenario, because in safety we know that the first rule is to remove all distractions in order to keep things safe. What could be more of a distraction than not getting a paycheck? not knowing if you're going to be able to keep your family in your home, not knowing if you're going to be able to buy that insulin that you need to keep your child alive, not knowing that you're going to be able to make good on what the people who count on you and love you need you to do. In all of our communities, all across this country, this is not just about Washington, D.C. Federal workers serve in every single one of our communities around this country. And the people who are not getting paychecks are not paying their cable bill. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. They're not going to be able to pay for the other services. And that is going to have a ripple effect on all of us. Now, they take an oath and they take it seriously. And those who are required to come to work without the backing of the cybersecurity people who are on furlough, without the backing of the administrative people who help our people in the Social Security Administration make sure that our veterans and our other retirees continue to get their paychecks, without the ability to have food inspectors and water inspectors on board to make sure that all of us stay safe in our communities. This is putting the rest of us increasingly at risk. This is a dangerous game. And the oath and the commitment that these federal workers are showing to all of us right now is something that Senate Majority Leader John Thune should emulate, not exploit. This is not a political game. We have two crises before us, a dismantling of our healthcare system and millions of people about to lose their healthcare, and federal workers who are going without work and without a paycheck, or at work and being told that they won't even get back pay in violation of the law. Both crises can be solved with one vote. And we call on the Senate Majority Leader to work in a bipartisan fashion and all members of the Senate to bring us to a resolution to solve both crises today. They have the power and the ability to do that, and they need to act like the federal workers who stand up for all of us and keep us safe in our communities. Flight attendants stand with them. We stand with all federal workers. We stand for our Constitution, and we stand for the principles that are in this country that is first and foremost about making sure that in our communities we remain safe with solidarity for everyone around us. Thank you very much. And now, let me just say, it's not just flight attendants. It is millions of transportation workers who stand with federal workers in this fight for justice. Greg Regan is the president of the Transportation Trades Department, representing millions of transportation workers. Greg.
All right, thank you. As Sarah mentioned, I'm Greg Regan, president of the Transportation Trades Department, AFL-CIO. We represent 39 unions across all modes of transportation, public sector and private sector. And Sarah did an excellent job of highlighting the problems and the risks associated with aviation and what happens there. But this is about safety and about project delivery across the country. Every single American that relies on our infrastructure system, on our transportation, is being affected by this, by ways they understand and that are obvious, and ways they may not see. We're talking about delays of projects of national importance, like Gateway, that is the busiest rail corridor in the country. We're talking about massive planning projects that are being delayed. We're talking about safety inspections, not just the TSA workers and the air traffic controllers and the safety specialist inspectors. All of those are being impacted negatively, but also railroad inspections, also transit projects. The American people and the workers who keep this country running are being held hostage by a political dispute, by a petty political dispute that they have nothing to do with. This is entirely vindictive, and the only victims are going to be this country. We've all seen the reports. Every single time we go through this stupid process of a shutdown, how much the American taxpayers lost because of the shutdown. It costs us money just to restart everything. It is a drain on our economy. It's a drain on our safety. It's a drain on the people that live here. So we need to put this to an end. Get serious about negotiating. Get serious about solving problems. Get as serious as the federal employees who are out there every single day going to work with the uncertainty of not knowing when they're going to get paid. We need the members of Congress to do the exact same thing and get serious about putting our people first. Putting federal employees first, putting taxpayers first, putting safety first. All of that is at risk right now, and with every second, every minute, every hour that this goes on, we put all of these systems further at risk. So get serious. Get to the table. There is a solution right in front of us. We should not be putting other people at risk. We should not be putting federal employees under all this strain. And we should have some continuity and certainty in the largest government in the world. We are the richest government in the world. Let's act like it. Let's start actually doing our jobs. And let's put the American people first. With that, I would like to introduce the National Association of Government Employees Federal Division Director, Lee Blackman.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, President Kelly, for scheduling this very important press conference. My name is Lee Blackman. As stated, I'm the Director of the National Association of Government Employees, SAIU Federal Division. NAGE was founded nearly 65 years ago to give federal employees at the Charleston Navy Shipyard a voice in the workplace. Today, we proudly represent more than 100,000 workers across the federal, state, municipal, and private sectors. Federal employees are hard-working public servants, not this pawn in anyone's political game. Using a government shutdown to threaten permanent job cuts is unprecedented, cruel, and deeply harmful. Not only do workers put American people who depend on vital services at risk. A normal shutdown means that paychecks for furloughed employees until Congress restores funding. But what this administration is proposing goes even further. A reduction in force is not temporary. It's a permanent job loss, the loss of benefits, disrupted careers, and devastating and harms families and communities. Federal agencies and their employees are already stretched to a breaking point. Recent cuts, the deferred resignation, agency restructurings have already weakened critical public services. And now the administration is threatening to go even further, violating the law by refusing to pay employees as required under the Employee Fair Protection Act of 2019, signed, please note, signed by President Trump after his first 35-day shutdown that year. But enough is enough. As everyone here has already said, we are calling on Congress to do their job, reach a bipartisan funding agreement that protects Americans, respects federal workers, and ends this ridiculous shutdown immediately. Enough is enough. We've seen enough of this. So the men and women who serve this country every day deserve respect, stability, and fair treatment, not this political punishment. So thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to, of course, introduce the Assistant General Counsel, President of Government Affairs and Political Action, Chris Blue Bartley.
Good morning. Again, my name is Chris Bartley with the International Association of Firefighters. And this morning, for the 8th day, thousands of federal firefighters have showed up to work this morning knowing they won't be paid due to this government shutdown. What's happening in D.C. right now is a textbook example of political gamesmanship. When lawmakers use shutdowns and brinkmanship as leverage, it's not just abstract policy, it hits real people. Like federal firefighters who show up to protect our military bases and other critical federal facilities without pay. These games have consequences. Families go without incomes. Morale and retention suffer. Public safety is compromised. The IFF is calling for a clean, continuing resolution because it's not about politics, it's about responsibility.
That's right.
Federal firefighters are doing their jobs. Congress needs to stop playing games and do theirs. Yes. So we ask to end this shutdown. Now I want to bring up the next speaker, AFT Executive Vice President Evelyn De Jesus.
All right, Evelyn.
Buenos dias. How we doing? My name is Evelyn De Jesus, and I serve as the Executive Vice President right next door at the AFGE, whose 1.8 million members, including the leaders here with me today, work in education, healthcare, and public services, and we also have federal employees in all 50 states and in Puerto Rico. And I'm also National President of LACLA, and I want to say that, make no mistake, we've heard about the safety issues. We heard about the firefighters. We heard about how can we make America safe again.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. Make no mistake, Republicans shut down the government because Democrats would not agree to take away health care for millions of working people and families, raising their costs. Democrats voted to fund the government, not to defund health care. Right now, people's premiums are about to explode. Can you imagine? By thousands of dollars because of the big ugly bill, which ripped $911 billion out of Medicaid, with 60 million Americans set to lose their insurance at ACA premiums, spiking it up to 75%. Republicans, they control the House. They control the Senate. They control the White House. They choose to shut down the government down rather than pass a budget that serves the American people. The American people support a bipartisan budget that doesn't eliminate tax credits or health care or give new tax breaks to corporations and to the wealthy. We call on those in power. Negotiate a solution, one that protects health care, lowers everyday costs, reopens the government, and helps rather than hurts the American people. Let's make America safe again. Let's make America the land of the free and the brave. Let's make America the place where everybody wants to come to and everyone wants to live. Labor's in the house, and we're together. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I want to introduce my brother, National Federation of Federal Employees, National President Randy Irwin. Come on down.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Despite this rain, I'm going to persevere.
All right.
So I'm the National President of NFFE, National Federation of Federal Employees, represent 110,000 federal workers nationwide. First, I want to thank federal employees for the incredible work that they do every single day. They're keeping our military ready, caring for our cherished veterans, caring for all of our national parks and forests and lands, maintaining our national security, and literally countless other essential tasks that the American people rely on. So I'm proud to be here with all my friends here in labor today. Wow. Thank you to all these leaders and workers from all of these different sectors standing in solidarity with federal employees. You know, we can't thank you enough for that.
I'm elating our postal workers right now.
So our hardworking civil servants and the American people who rely on their work every day, they deserve better than what they are getting from their elected leaders in this country right now. Once again, our dedicated federal employees, who are the backbone of this country, are being used as political pawns. These are middle-class folks. Nearly 1/3 of federal employees are veterans, and they are being treated like dirt by our elected leaders who cannot seem to do their jobs and reach an agreement on spending. That's their first job to do, and they don't seem to give a damn about it. We are a week into this shutdown, and from the looks of things, there is no end in sight. Hold that up a little higher. A little higher. Now, don't get it wrong. Federal employees make 25% less than private sector workers doing the exact same jobs. Many federal employees live paycheck to paycheck and cannot sustain any time with suspended pay. We got a lot of folks out in the Forest Service, Park Service, and other low-paid. GS3 is making $32,000 a year. They can't afford to go without pay for any period of time. They won't be able to feed their families. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. They're not going to be able to buy medicine. They're not going to be able to do any of the things that they need to do. They're living close to poverty already. We can't allow this shutdown to go on for weeks on end like it did in 2019. Now, to make matters worse for federal employees, just days ago, the Trump administration directed agencies to consider widespread firings due to this shutdown. Now, the law is very clear. This administration has no new authority to engage in mass layoffs because of a government shutdown. This means that the administration is doing one of two things. Either they intend to violate the law, okay, and when the president violates the law, he's violating the Constitution. Article 2, Section 3 says he must faithfully execute the laws of this country. So he intends to either violate the law or he was just grating, frightening, antagonizing hardworking federal employees whose only crime is caring and wanting to work for the American people. Right. It's despicable. second.
Sorry, man.
Boy. All right. Well, I lost my last page. Let me see if I can wrap this up. What has been happening is illegal. What OMB Director Vogt has done. The president came out just yesterday, okay, and he says, I'm going to pick and choose which federal employees that I give back pay to. Okay, so once again, he is indicating that he's going to violate the law and do something that's unconstitutional and despicably, not treat people fairly like we should in this country, okay, but pick and choose whether he's going to give back pay to the federal employees that he likes and not give federal employees to the ones that he doesn't like, okay? The president, his job is to serve this country, not treat the U.S. Treasury like his private piggy bank. That's the American people's money. How dare you go out there and say, I'm going to give back pay to the people that I like and not for the people that I don't like. We are in a dangerous spot in this country when the president thinks that he can just, ignore laws that are written in plain English. That law that you must give back pay to federal employees, okay? That is written in plain English, and he's just telling the American people that he's going to ignore it, okay? Nobody, I don't care who you are, I don't care what side of the aisle on, it doesn't matter. You got a Constitution, you got to faithfully execute the Constitution, and he's ignoring it. Yeah. And so both parties and every American should be furious with the threats that this president is making to federal employees in this country. Okay? So Congress, do your damn job.
Yeah.
Do your damn job and pass a budget. That's going to require a little compromise.
Yeah.
It's not a one-sided thing. If you don't have a bill, you haven't done your job.
Yeah.
So do your job. And this president, you better start obeying the Constitution. You better start obeying the Constitution. It's going to get real ugly if you don't follow the laws and obey the Constitution like you swore an oath to do.
Open the government today.
All right, let me hear you. Let me hear everybody say it. Open the government today. Open the government today. Open the government today. Open the government today. All right, thank you all. Thank you. I want to thank all of my brothers and sisters in this labor movement for showing up today and standing in solidarity with AFGE. And the reason we're here today is because we believe, just like the sister said, enough is enough, right? Yeah. How many of y'all believe that? Say enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Listen, we are here to stand for this government to be open. We're tired of the shakedown. We want real workers in Congress. We want somebody that's going to come and get the job done. Somebody just going to show up and do that job. That's what we want, right?
Yes.
Let me hear you. Is that what we want?
Yes.
Yes, that's what we want. Congress, do your job. Because we're going to stand together as family until this job gets done. If it's not done soon, we'll be back, and we'll be back more furious. Thank you. I love you all. Let's get to work. We're going to do our job. Congress, do yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
Questions?
Questions?
Yes, anybody wants to take any questions?
Okay. All right. Elect the right leader.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that, elect the leader that's going to stand for working America.
Who would you say that is?
I tell you who I endorsed.
Who's that?
Bamberger.
Why is that?
Because she stands for working people. She believes in it.
You think she'd do a better job handling the shutdown?
I think she would.
How so?
I think she would stand for working people. I think she would speak up. She wouldn't sit down and just hope that things get better. She would get out there and make things better. Okay?
She was the most bipartisan member of Congress. If she were in charge, there'd be no shutdown.
What are your thoughts on folks who think that Democrats should use the shutdown as leverage to get some sort of assurances or concessions for Republicans versus just trying to end it as quickly as
My only concern is this. I represent 820,000 federal and D.C. government workers, and I want to see them get a paycheck. That's my question. That's my answer.
What are you going to do about if the president does in fact fire people and not give people back pay?
we think that's illegal, and we will fight him in court.
Absolutely.
Have you considered suing him preemptively? Like if that's all the cases?
We have.
And are you going to?
We have.
Considering it. Next
We're-
question.
For the back pay.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Maybe I misunderstood your question. I'm sorry about that. Okay?
Generally, the Democrat argument that there has to be an extension on Obamacare tax credits, do you think that is a valid argument to, I guess, in a way, continue the shutdown until Republicans compromise on that?
You know, I think that every American have a right to health care. I am not here to discuss health care. I'm here to try to get 820,000 people paid, right, and provide the services for the American people that they deserve.
Anybody else that you want to add something, Randy or Matt?
Yeah, please feel free.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a critically important issue, no doubt about it. It needs to be addressed.
Yes.
At this point, yeah, it's
Touch the mic, Matt.
healthcare and the ACA credits are critically important. And like Brother Everett said, we want everyone to have health care in this country. Right now, however, our members aren't getting a paycheck, and we need to get our people back to work. And we also want the health care addressed, no doubt about it. It shouldn't be an either or. I'll just say that. But top of the priority list is we need our members back to work. And again, these are working families. They live paycheck to paycheck, just like all of us here. They have children. They have to put food on the table. They have to pay mortgage. So we need to get our people back to work. That should be the priority.
Thank you. Yes.
The Republicans and Democrats could reopen the government now if they passed a bill that was continuing funding levels and a continuing resolution. You're saying healthcare is a separate discussion, but the reason that we are shut down is because Democrats are asking for healthcare.
What I'm saying is simple, right? Open the government, come and sit down and have those discussions and resolve those differences. But open the government so that the American people can get the services that they deserve, and the people that I represent can get their paycheck and pay their mortgages, take care of their children, buy their insulin, buy their medication, whatever they need to do, because they're just like the rest of America. 65% of America work from paycheck to paycheck, and the people that I represent is no different. So we want to make sure that they get their paycheck so they can live.
Okay, but the way that it's being paired is healthcare and reopening the government. Are you saying they got to do both, or you want to just see them reopen?
I'm saying very simply, okay, very simply, that they can reopen the government now. I think they should. I think they should open the government today, okay, today, and whatever that entails, because people are suffering, okay, and the federal employees should not every 6 months be used as political pawns.
All right, any next question?
But to her point, if I may, because I want to get to that and be crystal clear, are you saying put the healthcare stuff aside and just get us open and then negotiate later?
I'm saying open the government so that employees can get the pay that they deserve, the American people can get the services that they deserve, and then come together in a bipartisan way and discuss whatever you need to discuss to get a budget.
But they can't open the budget till they, or open the government till they decide on the continuing resolution.
I think they can open the government today. I think it's a choice.
For those here, have you heard anything concrete when it comes to reductions in force? It's been something the president's been talking about, but then says, I'll let you know in 3 or 4 days, and then that timeline will get extended. Like, have you heard anything concrete yet?
Look at the president's budget, because the president right now, his agencies are implementing his budget. So if you want to see where they're planning to do reductions in force, look at his budget. At NASA is a good example.
Yep.
Everett and I, we did a big event up at there in space to try and bring transparency to that. This president wants to cut NASA's science budget by nearly 50%, cut the Aero budget by almost 40%. They are implementing that budget right now illegally. This is why I talked about impoundments. Illegally. If you just look at his budget, and you'll see where they want to riff folks. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a
It's a
budget request.
It's a
That is
request.
not
It's not law.
Yeah, that's a budget request. It's a request of Congress to fund programs at the levels that the president is asking for. But that is not law by any stretch. That is not, has no force law. It is a political document more than anything else. And I do want to add also, I think it's a really sad state of affairs for the U.S. Congress that the only point to try to actually solve real problems is under the, using the federal government and a shutdown as the leverage point. I think, yes, there's a conversation about bifurcating those two issues of health care and funding, but I think Congress should be looking in the mirror right now, if anything, that if the only way we're going to solve real problems in this country is to use the federal workers that are keeping the country running as pawns, that's a really sad state of affairs for the U.S. Congress right now.
And just so the record is straight, I'm not here to say that Democrats should fold or Republicans should fold. I'm saying that both of them should come together, resolve these issues, and open the government today, because they can. Okay?
The American people, and in closing, it should just be clear what the message is. People are hurting day in and day out. Right now, families are coming to the table, looking at their budgets and seeing what they can do without. And sometimes that means looking at, okay, do I pay the electric bill? Do I pay the mortgage? Do I let my car note go? Or do we buy food for our children? And the congressional leaders who are, in fact, getting paid during this time, while the American people are not, to President Kelly's statement, they need to look at themselves in the mirror and determine what's important. So put the differences aside, come to the table, do your job, don't recess, work until the 11th hour and get the job done and make those compromises.
We have filed several lawsuits, and we're winning those lawsuits. But I have my general counsel here. Let me let him come tell you, what's happening with the lawsuits, because they are winning, okay? This administration is going rogue, and they are going to pay for it, okay? Rashab, he wanted to know some things about the lawsuits.
Sure. Sure, I'm Rashab Sanghvi. I'm the general counsel of AFGE.
Yeah, I guess my question is just like, you filed some lawsuits. Like, do you feel like you're being successful using that as a strategy to defend the rights of your members, or how are you thinking about the strategy of defending the rights of your members?
I think we've been very successful, right? I think many of the lawsuits we've filed have resulted in the rescission of RIFs that haven't been reinstated. You can look at our probationary employee case, along with the state of Maryland had another case. It resulted in the reinstatement of several thousand probationary employees who were not then terminated. So we believe that the lawsuits are having an effect not only in sort of tangible relief that has helped our members, but also in highlighting the egregious nature of what the administration is doing. And we believe the courts have highlighted that as well in their decisions. So.
It doesn't seem like they're letting up. So is this the strategy is to keep filing lawsuits, or is there any kind of escalation in tactics? Like, I don't know what the thinking is.
I mean, I can only speak from our office's perspective in terms of, we'll continue to file lawsuits when they act unlawfully, right? We're going to vindicate our rights just like any other American, right? So.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, we got to wrap. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Randy.
Good job. Some circumstances there a little bit. Way to hang in there.
Thank you.
Way to hang in there, guys.
Yeah.